is a repeat of the RS2 trade plan. Ike added, more specifics to it for how we're going to trade it, and then I'm going to share kind of what I'm going to be doing with this trade as well. But there's alternatives. But anyway, with that, I'll give that over to Ike here.
Good afternoon, everybody. So I'm just going to run through this presentation, and if you have any questions about this, just pop them up over into this chat box over there, and we'll get to them. So we're going to go over an RS two play. It's really an RSI two, but we call it RS two. So here we go. So entry rules of this plan. Uh, we're going to buy good stocks, and we'll talk about how we get good stocks a little bit later. Only when the stock is above the 200 simple moving average and below the 5 simple moving average. With the 2-period RSI below 10, we're going to enter near the current day's close, and that's what Al posts for everybody. Okay, this is a pattern of Etsy. Everybody knows about Etsy. It's a great stock, and you can see how it's held the 200 simple moving average. It's moving nice left to right pattern above the 200 simple moving average. Okay, zooming in, we're going to zoom in on Etsy right here and look at this trade right here. And that's the same as right in here. So we're going to look at this on the 21st of May. Price is above the 200 SMA. It's below the 5 SMA, which is right here. Here's the 5 SMA right here. And the 2-period look back is below 10 down here. So we bought it at the end of the day at 74.31. So when do we get out? Next day, it closed above the SMA, 5 SMA. That's your signal to get out. The trade was closed for 77.48 for $3.17 gain, just on a 1-day move. And what I wanted to go back and show you guys is over a period of time, this happens with Etsy over and over and over again. So here's another entry. 28th of June, after the 21st. Price is above the 200 SMA, below the 5 SMA. We bought it 76.46. Stocks was closed on June the 6th. We had to wait a couple of days, or July the 6th. That's incorrect. And the price closed above the 5 SMA for 79.81 for 347 gain. Another nice trade. Bought it here, closed it here. That looks like it was probably not the 6th of June, but 2 days later. Anyway, you can see it right here where that arrow is right there. Okay, here's a losing trade. Okay, April 12th. We got in right here, below the 5 SMA, above the 200 SMA. 2-period look back, RSI was below 10. So we got in and we closed it when the stock closed above the 5 SMA, and we had a $2.45 loss. So there's no stop loss on these trades. The 5 SMA determines when you get out and when you get in. So uh, we've been doing this since March, and the 5 SMA has done its job over that period of time. Okay, additional considerations we can look at. Okay, since the system selects great stocks in a trending direction, you can hold for higher profits. And I'm going to go over these slides, and Al's going to pipe in. Or you can put the stock in a longer term hold portfolio, or you can buy stock and sell covered calls, 100 shares and buy several calls, or you can, if conditions warrant, utilize an option strategy. So Al wants to say something about what he's doing with the portfolio you guys get every day.
Okay, so so basically, for the most part, right? In Ike has a very good track record on this trade, and he does it mechanically, just like he explained, and he's not using any of the alternatives here that he mentioned. And so, my thought is that in the STS group, we're trying to build wealth, right? So we're we do trades with options in the SOS group, and then the goal for the stock portfolios. Yes, we have active investor and we're doing swing trades and those kinds of things, but ultimately, the goal is to build wealth. And so the spin that I'm going to put on this is like, and I've talked to Ike. Ike and I have talked about this a lot, before we shared it with you guys. And so what I'd like to do is for some particular stocks, like let's say Facebook today, right? We had a really nice move, and it was one of the stocks that we had purchased. And I had purchased 3 shares because I'm limiting it to, basically 500. And with Facebook, I added 1 more share when I bought it. And so what I'm going to be doing is not selling all the shares. So I'm going to be keeping 1 share in the portfolio and selling the other 2. So we have a gain basically. And then my goal here is to hold, certain stocks, basically forever, right? For a long period of time, and allow that to grow, right? There's always there's a thought process for stocks, and it's been around for a long time, and that is you get rid of your losers and hold your winners. And so this is kind of a take on holding the winner, okay? And it's not going to be every stock. I mean, most of the stocks I'm going to be selling, but only a few I'm going to be keeping in the portfolio, and that's really the change. Now, you guys, when you trade this, obviously you can do whatever you want, and again, Ike, what's your percent return on this since you've been doing it in March?
26%.
Okay, so that's really a phenomenal return, for this strategy, and obviously, yes, we're in a bullish time here. But it's a great return. And so if you want to stick to the rules, and Ike sticks to the rules, he's very mechanical about it, follow this trade plan, and you should do very well with it, but again, I'm going to be just purchasing, holding certain stocks, and I'll let you guys know which ones they are, and then you guys can make a decision on that. So
Okay. Just one more time on the setup. Okay, this was the May 21st setup. The setup is again 200 S. The stock has to be above the 200 SMA and below the 5 SMA. 2-period look back on the RSI. You have to change it to 10 and make it a two-period look back. Okay, so most of the RSIs, like on TOS, are 14-day look back. So you just want to go change the settings if you want to do this yourself to a 2 look back RSI. So if the stock trades below, meets all those criteria, below the 5, below the 2-period 10 level, you get into stock near the end of the day, and your signal to get out is when the stock closes above at the end of the day the 5 SMA again. So it's a very mechanical, methodical system. So that's the setup. Let me get down here. And I gave you the actual results of 26%. So any questions on the setup? Okay, Al, do you want to talk about your TOS scan?
Oh, sure. Let me see. Yeah, so I created a scan very similar to what Ike uses. Only the difference is that my scan is it uses the weeklies. Basically, any stock that has a weekly option to it, which typically they are, more. These stocks are more have more volume, and any stock that has a weekly option to it is typically a lot more liquid, And so that's the scan that I'm using. But when I compare it to Ike's, it's very similar. He has a few other stocks. In addition to that, Ike's scan basically uses VectorVest indicators, proprietary indicators that we decide on what stocks to use. So it's very helpful, in doing that comparison. So I'll share the scan with you guys. For those of you who use Thinkorswim, I'll share that with you, and then you can use that and use a comparison, basically on your own to do it. Okay. So I think that covers it, Ike. Right? Is there anything else that we need to cover?
That's all I got. And if you guys have any questions, you can go over to the Traders Lounge or somewhere and ask questions if you ponder it and want to have some additional information.
Okay. All right. So that's it, and we'll post this in the education portal for you guys. All right. All right. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.